And then when I try to get involved, I just walk away frustrated.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah. I decided I'm never putting a sign for any candidate in my yard ever again. Ever.
I only do levies, just so people don't get mad.
Yeah. But then we don't wanna be a target anymore. That's the way I look at it, they're targets.
Yeah.
Well, I also had to tell a 5-year-old little girl once that I couldn't put her daddy's sign in my yard because people aren't allowed to vote for him where I live.
Wow. That's rough.
Yeah, I have specific requirements for candidates to put signs in my yard. I have to promise to lie, cheat, and steal because politicians never do what they promise.
Yeah. We hope they did.
I gotta tell you, Todd, I got lost in these numbers, and I'm a numbers person, so
What number do you?
well,
Are you talking about the public hearing today?
yeah. I mean, I was trying to make it add up, and you gotta kinda go through this and let me know what you're saying to me.
I can do that.
Okay. Well, what does the green is about?
I was gonna say,
Oh, I'm sure the math is
Yeah,
fine.
no,
No, I'm
yeah.
not saying the math is
You
wrong.
should do that table again, where you're showing which project.
You know what?
From.
Yeah, I think that would make it more clear, Todd, instead of,
well, you know, I was going to, but then I thought, well, there's only 2 activities. I'm basically decreasing one and increasing the other.
But the table's really clear. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I'll have to keep that in mind
Okay.
if I ever do another one. I try not to do this.
And kinda explain to me like the activities and stuff. I mean,
Yeah,
so
I'll
I
do
know
that.
what.
Sure.
Okay, we will recess from the Board of Commissioners meeting and go into a public hearing.
You guys gonna run it?
Oh,
Yeah,
just-
I'll do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll explain.
Do you need your agenda? You
Yeah.
have it? Okay.
Oh, actually, I have copies of a handout if anybody wants one. Oh. All right, we had an activity, two activities. One of them was the demolition in Wyndham Township where we were demolishing a former church that was located at 10352 Silver Road in Wyndham Township. The bids for that project came in a lot lower than what was estimated when we wrote the grant application. When we wrote the application, $52,000 was estimated to complete that project. When we, as I said, the bids came in lower, therefore the cost was only $24,520 is what we ended up with. It costing. So what we're gonna do is take that difference, which is $27,480, and move it over to the Ravenna Head Start Waterline project. Because when we estimated the project, or the city of Ravenna estimated that project for us, and it was estimated in 2018 at $81,507. When I hired an engineer, and they came in with an estimated cost of $114,317.50. So what we are doing is we're gonna take that $27,480, move it over to the Head Start project, cause we only had 81.5, which this 81.5 included the cost for the engineering. So we're gonna move this money, and then Portage Private Industry Council, they are going to contribute the difference in cost, which is gonna be $20,209.76. to make up the difference. And 6,000, the city of Ravenna would like us to increase the size of the water line, so they agreed to contribute up to $6,000 is what we're estimating, for the cost of the material to increase the size of the water line.
Okay. Now, do you have the table already done in this? I mean, you said we should have done the table, or did you already do it?
I can do one, I mean.
Would you, and just send it to
Just
me?
email it to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just showing where the money's coming, where.
Right,
You started
exactly,
here,
exactly.
you're moving around here, this is
Exactly,
how you're
yeah.
ending up, yeah.
Do table for Vicki.
Don't we a lot of times though have that in Evelyn's report for the, she does that for certain
She does
grants
do,
and stuff.
she does do that, we should have done that in this.
Well, and two, I didn't update the dollar amounts on the CVG report, when I did it,
Just because we haven't approved this. one.
because
Okay.
you guys had, the state hadn't, we didn't have the form back from the state.
But once you approve this, we can adjust that.
Okay.
Yeah, so everything will get adjusted and moved around where it needs to be, and so.
Okay.
Does anybody have any questions?
I don't.
I think we were fortunate that we had excess money in the
Oh,
one project,
yes,
because
yes.
otherwise we wouldn't, where's the other 27,000 coming from?
Yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise they would have had to contribute almost.
Yeah, that was quite a difference.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one,
The
wow.
first one, the reason why there was a difference is because we weren't sure how much asbestos was in there and how much was gonna have to be treated specially, and it turned out there was much less asbestos, or virtually no asbestos in that site.
Good, no.
Well, and including,
Well, we
and
had-
then also you have to take it to a special dump site too, if it has that kind of stuff in it, so there's a cost
Well,
for that too.
We assumed that the whole thing was, was asbestos because, it was unsafe for anybody to go in there to do the inspection. So the county building department helped me out and declared that it was unsuitable for somebody to obviously to use or live in, or I mean, you wouldn't live in a church, but, you know,
Attend
so-
services.
Yeah, you
Or
never
even
know.
services, yeah, right.
Yeah,
Falling in.
so, and I'm thinking that the cost estimate we got at the time of the application assumed the cost of prevailing wages. And because the state came back and said I can do this as a non-prevailing wage, they brought the cost down too, I think,
Okay.
as well.
Oh, yeah.
So I have a question then on the, Ravenna Head Start wiring. So the original proposal had Portage, Private Industry Council, only having to come in with 507. Now they have to come in with $20,209.
Quite a difference.
Yeah, cause we're out of that, 81,000 that we had originally, I'm paying for the cost of the engineer, which is higher than what we originally estimated. Because we have to have somebody out on site to monitor the work that is being done while the water line's being constructed, to make sure it's being constructed to the specifications for the city and based on what the drawings are showing. So it's probably about $10,000 higher than what I estimated. Plus you have the big costs, for bidding the project out. I mean, it's less than $500 for that, but
And I think the cost for boring under 14
yeah.
was more expensive.
Yeah, plus
too.
we have to bore under 14, which is where, a lot of the cost is.
And that's part of the problem with the CBG projects to begin with, because we come to you and say, oh, this is what's gonna cost, this is our estimates, but they're
And it's-
estimates, you know, until you actually get out there and see what's actually happening, that's when you get your true
Because it
cost.
seems like they take forever
Yeah.
to get the contracts and everything. I mean,
Oh, I know, I started
I'm
on
like,
this
this is
early in
time-
the spring, and I'm only to the point, and this project, I mean, it kills me because it's like, this project literally is only gonna take a week to do, the construction.
And a year to
And
prepare.
it's taking me this long to get this long, and it'll take me another, say, 3 to 4 weeks
Yeah.
to get a contract through the county system. And, you know, it's like,
Well,
this is crazy.
We submit the application to the state in June, right, June of 18, so it's
Yeah.
a year and a half to this, well, almost a year and a half to this point as it is, you know? But we have until the end of August, I think, of 19, or 20, sorry, to finish the project, so there are 2 years.
you know, just those timelines, I would think would naturally increase the cost. I mean,
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens. Then you have, and then we have like the Manaway, and not to bring up the Manaway elevator, but that was another one where
You know what, I was thinking about that.
they asked for, they changed the scope, midstream after you already, said how much you were gonna pay for it. and then they wanted a gurney size elevator.
That was a
and
nightmare.
That more than doubled the cost, and so that.
But
that
those
run-
spec changes were not all, they were done internally too.
They
They
were
weren't
done-
necessarily required to be done. I think.
Yes.
You're correct on that. We did this, the same year, we also did Franklin Township, they did a Lulu, which is a limited occupancy elevator kind of thing. And they can handle 4 to 6 people, which is probably all they needed in Manaway, and theirs was $40,000 or less than $40,000. And then we spent over $200,000 in Manaway, so.
And it's still on our agenda.
Well,
Still
and
there.
to update you on that.
6 years later.
Yeah, to update you on that, as of this morning, I talked to Canton Elevator, he was like, oh, I'll get it done before the end of the year. I said, I tell you what, I said, I have some RLF money I would like to get spent out to the township before they shut down, which they're gonna be doing here soon, here at the county level. You need to get it done now.
We
And that's
was-
the way I put it to him, and he says, I'll tell you what, I'll make the phone call today and, I'll get back to you.
We're in a catch-22 with that project,
Yeah.
because basically the RLF money and Senator Eklund's money can't be spent until a inspection is done. And there's a punch list of items that need to be done, and they're not gonna fix the punch list to do the inspection until they get paid, but they can't get
And
paid.
they can't get paid till that's done.
Right, and so that's been an ongoing battle with a number of different entities, trying to work that through.
And I think we still have on the table the revolving loan funds we offered up.
You're right, and that's what I'm trying to spend
But
out.
that's after everything's completed.
Yeah, I know,
Right.
and see, and they can't get the Senator Eklund money unless it's been inspected and passes inspection through the county and the state level, so. And you guys put that same recommendation in on paying the RLF money out, so I'm like, okay, I'll kill 2 birds with 1 stone, get the inspection done. And then, you know, everybody will get their money and everything will be,
Okay, we're off topic though, I'm sorry.
yeah,
Yeah.
but anyway, so,
Okay,
that's where we're at as of this
Okay.
morning.
I
okay.
do have a teeny tiny question. The church on Silica Sand, which you demolished, was that the one way down far into Silica near the Trumbull County border, near the quarry?
Yeah, I would say yes.
Because I grew
Yes.
up on Silica Sand.
Yeah.
I went to that church, so I was just curious if that was the
Yeah,
one.
there was a lot of,
There's one other church, but it was a brick church.
oh,
Mhm.
yeah, there was also a residential structure
Yes.
on the same site and
Yeah.
I believe a garage.
Yeah.
So we obviously left the residential in the garage, we
Oh,
just
so
tore down.
it's still.
Yeah, it's still there. We just tore down and,
Church had just gone into
Yeah.
disuse, yeah.
yep,
Thank you.
Was that house for the pastor or something? Is that why
Yes.
it's on the same?
Like a
Okay.
personage.
yeah.
Okay, well, we will adjourn and go back to the board of commissioners.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Roll call aim?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Thanks, guys.
Can I ask, do 2 things really quick? I know this is a bad outside of procedures and stuff like that, but we talked about our building, and one of the things we were talking about doing with our building was advertising in the Beacon Journal and Plain Dealer, and we're gonna give a little ad to Joanne to do, but Joanne's out. And we don't know and Joanne was gonna look into the cost of that, so I don't even know what the cost is on that. And I don't know when she's coming back, but we need to get an ad in those 2 papers. It's not
It
illegal.
was over, I can tell you, it was over $1,000. You can actually check with Todd, he would be able to find out.
To do the
how
little
much.
ads? Yeah.
Mhm.
So one of
When
the,
we put it in all 3 of the papers, it was over $1,000.
well, we're not gonna do a legal ad in the Beacon or the Plain Dealer, but we wanna do an ad somewhere in the real estate section to help better market that building.
For the Record Courier, for the local?
Well, the local has the legal description. We can do one for the Record Courier too. And so I don't know what the cost is, so that's a bad thing, another bad thing to do. But I was thinking that maybe we split the cost or something like this, just so I can get it out there, because since I don't know what the cost is, I think it's fair for us to maybe split the cost. That's a lot.
I think in the past, we've just covered it.
You just covered it, but since I'm coming to
But
you.
if you're willing to split it, definitely
at least-
entertain that.
and it's not the legal ad, it's an advertisement.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's that, and then real quick, 2 other things. I had
I don't know if we can do that if it's
Well-
not a legal ad.
Oh, no, so what we talked about with Joanne in our we had a special executive committee meeting. So Joanne says the requirement of our revised code is you have to have a legal ad in the paper of circulation. So that's already being done. So these other ads are not gonna be compliant, but they're actually to market the property, so we actually get people to see it and buy it rather than look at not everybody looks at a legal ad and that kind of thing, so we're trying to do
Basically,
it.
a legal, it's kind of like a display ad.
Like an advertisement.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
a small,
Yeah.
something small that catch their eye and hopefully people will take a look at that and say, okay, you know.
Well, Joanne, I don't think she'll be back until after the middle of next week, if she
Right.
comes back next
Right.
week.
That's why in our.
I
so-
thought she had told you to look at what she had created and revise it to what you wanted.
Yep, she did say that, and that's just the legal ad though. That's
Okay.
just the legal ad's going to like.
But you're wanting to do a different ad, which I would think
Yeah.
that regional planning would take care of, because it's not necessarily something we're mandated to do.
You're not mandated to do it,
No.
but we're trying to find better ways to market it, you know, so.
Well, I know we're having an open house and.
Right, and we need to let
Stuff
people
to
know
try
that there's
to-
open house coming, so that's why I was gonna do display ad and stuff.
Do you have, but what I'm saying is, do you have money, cause we waived any of the fees for or payments this year?
That's the payment.
Can
so
you not use that some of that money?
We have new money that just came in, so,
Yeah.
we could probably use that money.
Yeah,
So,
I'd
yeah.
get with Record Courier and put together the ad. I'd be more inclined to have regional planning pay for that ad, because like I said, we've been paying for all those legal ads, and I know when we did it all three, no, it cost us over $1,000.
No,
I
and we're
mean,
grateful for that, trust me.
yeah, I know.
That's what- So, another thing that, you know, and I don't know if this is appropriate, because you haven't sent me the email yet, but me and Kathleen were talking last night about the fact that there's 3 members that come to our board meeting, and there might be maybe there's a different way to do that, maybe just one board member comes. I'm not advocating for that, just
Right.
per se, I'm just saying we had this conversation. So we're talking about putting that on our RPC agenda for next month.
That's in your bylaws.
Our bylaws say 3 commissioners, so the
Well,
idea is
actually, 3 commissioners and 3 other.
alternates.
Alternates.
No, 3 other representatives. You got county engineers,
You got 4.
full one. Oh, 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, water resources, county engineer, park district, and then
I don't think, no, Park District, I don't think is included.
and then you have soil and water. And so then, anyway, and then so the idea was just one commissioner go, and then one of the other commissioners would be the alternate. That would have to be changed to the bylaws, so I just bring that up. And the last thing is, I need to tell Kathleen that I invited her to come up and look at the maps. I won't be here this afternoon after all, because we're accepting an award. We got a Vibrant Neo honorable mention for our mapping program.
Oh,
Which is pretty
good.
interesting since it's not officially launched yet.
I was just gonna say, that is, it's still a pilot
It's still a pilot, and
process.
we're getting an award even though it's a draft.
It's really
So-
good.
Oh,
Yes,
congratulations.
well, thank you. And
That's
so
awesome.
I appreciate you guys' time.
Okay.
You know, appreciate everything you do. And we'll look into those costs and.
Yeah, look into them and you can let us know.
You know,
but-
talk with Todd since Joanne's not here.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I
You
was
don't
gonna
wanna
say.
Let me get the cost. I'll talk to Todd. And
Okay.
then I have
Yeah.
better information for everybody.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
All right,
Thank you.
thanks, guys.
Attention, we'll recess until 10:30.
Okay.
No problem.
Oh, the Dorthics for their
Yeah.
200 years.
You know, we could pass our journal entries and we could do that. Unless, are there any more questions on
I didn't have any.
Elizabeth, your journal entries? Yeah, let's do that. And number 8 will have to be passed separately.
Number what?
8.
Don't we have to pull 8?
Right, and then you
I'll
pass.
pull 8. And then. Okay, 8's planned.
this, okay, gotcha, all right.
Dick,
Hi.
how are you?
Hi.
Long time no see, how you doing?
Well, you know, he's working part-time as a volunteer for regional planning, you know.
Oh, wow.
I figured I'd come up see what you guys are getting in trouble with.
Regional planning was just here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, I
Yeah, you just missed Todd.
just saw him.
You guys took a break.
We're in recess.
Still on the building.
Signing.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Do we have any public comment that you know of now? No?
Hi, Janet. Nice to see you, Janet. Okay, so I'm getting all of them. I'm sending all those. I'll get out here, Eric's from the village. No, I was like, I didn't see Eric from here. I'm sorry, I should have said. No, that's fine. Thanks, Janet.
Pardon me? Well, I thought we were gonna do the consent agenda, but I'm not sure. I said let's go ahead and do it.
You wanna do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll move to pass the amendment to the non-general fund 2019 annual appropriation resolution number 18-0923, adopted December 13th, 2018.
McGee, do you want a second? I don't feel comfortable passing it, so I'm gonna vote
Okay.
no on it.
I'll
so-
second. Roll calling?
Kathleen?
Yes.
Vicki?
Yes.
Sabrina?
No.
And then I'll move to pass the consent agenda as amended.
And I will second. Roll calling?
Kathleen?
Yes.
Vicki?
Yes.
Sabrina?
Yes.
And I'll move to pass the journal entry.
I will second.
Roll calling?
Kathleen?
Yes.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Yes.
Very good.
Do that proclamation unless you want to in session, right?
And public comment, doesn't that have to be?
Oh,
Yeah, we got it till 9:11.
Pardon?
You want to recess?
Yes, yes.
Hi, Timothy there.
Come on in.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Jennifer, do you have anyone else coming?
No, everybody else had to work and
Yeah.
Darla had class, so.
You guys wanna
Would you
come
like
on
to come
up?
up here?
Yeah.